There should not be one new dime in tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires as long as millions of children in America are poor, hungry, uneducated, and without health coverage. During the financial crisis and bailouts of 2008, it probably occurred to very few average people that we were entering a period of hardship for billionaires. Some billionaires like cars, yachts and private jets. Others like newspapers. All those predictions about how much economic growth will be created by this, all of those new jobs, would be created by the things we wanted, the extension of unemployment insurance and middle-class tax cuts. And estate tax for millionaires adds exactly 0 jobs. A tax cut for billionaires, virtually none. The gap between rich and poor is widening dramatically. There's a hangar at the Cairo airport for private jets, billionaires are on the Forbes list, and Egypt's annual per capita income is $2,000. How can you sustain that? I agreed with everything he was saying when he ran for president. I was listening to what he said. I go, this guy thinks like me and I agree with him. Now he's changing. All he keeps saying is millionaires and billionaires don't pay their fair share of taxes. You know what isn't class warfare? Progressive taxation, as in, say, expecting billionaires to pay at least as much in taxes as their secretaries. Ideally, in fact, they should pay more. We would be billionaires, but we took responsibility for Suma's failure. We need young Frenchmen who want to become billionaires. As a parent and a citizen, I'll take a Bill Gates, or Warren Buffett, over Steve Jobs every time. If we must have billionaires, better they should ignore Jobs' example and instead embrace the morality and wisdom of the great industrialist philanthropist Andrew Carnegie. For billionaires who cannot buy good press, there is the option of buying the press. I don't know any real billionaires. I find the fact that billionaires are quoted as if the fact that they are billionaires gives them some kind of wisdom is outrageous. What has become clear to many Americans is that the electoral system is bankrupt. As the political process becomes more privatized, outsourced, and overrun with money from corporations and billionaires, a wounded republic is on its deathbed, gasping for life. When you look at Mark Zuckerberg and Snapchat and all these 20-something billionaires, it's really kind of fascinating, a classic tale of the haves and have-nots. The millionaires and billionaires who chose to invest in Australia are actually those who most help the poor and are young. This secret needs to be spread widely. We have a presidential nominee in Hillary Clinton who knows that, in a time of stunningly wide disparities of wealth in our nation, America's greatness must not be measured by how many millionaires and billionaires we have, but by how few people we have living in poverty. There is no reason that billionaires should crowd us out from our democracy. Tell young girls they can be anything, including entrepreneurs and self-made billionaires. Encourage your friends/daughters/female students/yourself to take a shot. The middle class should not continue to foot the bill for tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires. Did we ever plan on being billionaires? No, but we wanted to be millionaires. Arnold Schwarzenegger cut teachers' salaries and parks and libraries rather than raise taxes for the many California millionaires and billionaires. Introverts listen better, they assess risks more carefully, they can be wiser managers. It's not for nothing that the Silicon Valley billionaires are so often the retiring types. As a historian, I'm skeptical about conspiracy theories because the world is far too complicated to be managed by a few billionaires drinking scotch behind some closed doors. But I do think that the voters are correct in sensing that they're really losing power, and in reaction, they give the system an angry kick. A White House dinner is the American family assembled, from labor leaders to billionaires, actors, architects, academicians and athletes. I'm a wealth creator. I'm not interested in saving in the least. While I do spend a lot, I don't spend money like other billionaires. I'm probably quite unusual, albeit I do have some of the significant trappings. But I always try to make my assets work for a living. Look at all the billionaires. If I know 15 billionaires, I know 13 unhappy people. I am upset and completely disappointed in the government, the millionaires and billionaires in the US. See what's happening to the country? Look at all the health problems, the economy, the recession and crime. If we choose to keep those tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires, if we choose to keep a tax break for corporate jet owners, if we choose to keep tax breaks for oil and gas companies that are making hundreds of billions of dollars, then that means we've got to cut some kids off from getting a college scholarship. Let us wage a moral and political war against the billionaires and corporate leaders, on Wall Street and elsewhere, whose policies and greed are destroying the middle class of America. We came from where people don't look like they have money anyway. We came up in an era where the dudes who had all of the money looked regular, the same way you see billionaires in some run-down shoes or old jeans. You see how Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and those dudes dress. Even in our era, the dudes with the money weren't flashy. The mistake the apartheid government made was they gave the black people nothing, so they had nothing to lose. But now a lot of the former freedom fighters are big-time capitalists. They've been given directorships in every major company. They're billionaires. There are a lot of billionaires in Silicon Valley, but in the end, we are all heading to the same place. If given the choice between making a lot of money or finding a way to make people live longer, what do you choose? In a world where most billionaires are all about talking about taking care of and helping people, Jim Irsay walks it. I want millionaires and billionaires and big oil companies to pay their fair share. As a former lifelong Republican, it pains me to tell you that today's Republicans, and their standard-bearers, Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan, just aren't up to the task. They're beholden to my way or the highway bullies, indebted to billionaires who bankroll ads and allergic to the very idea of compromise. It doesn't matter who you vote for, it's still the same billionaires that run the world. As you may know, I'm the co-founder and co-chairman of an asteroid company called Planetary Resources that is backed by a group of 8 billionaires to implement the bold mission of extracting resources from near-Earth asteroids. Many hedge fund managers have become billionaires. Perhaps this, plus their reputations as the smartest guys in the room, is why they have captured the investing public's imagination. I know it's bad to generalize, but when you think about billionaires, you just think this guy is going to walk into a room and just demand things to be a certain way. Just 10 of the Jewish billionaires on this earth have more than enough to transform the occupied territories into heaven. We can put the Palv back in Palestinian. The smartest billionaires I know never finished high school. I got my degree and my doctorate on the street and an advanced degree in jail. No matter what your political persuasion, you can find a guide that makes it quick, easy and painless to exercise your right to vote. Want to know what a certain proposition put forth by a cadre of undisclosed billionaires which cuts funding for public education, arts and infrastructure means? Use the voting guide. When billionaires can give $50 million, $500 million to a campaign, and there's no limit, then it makes a mockery of one man, one vote. I'm more interested in photographing people who have done something, like writers, or directors, even billionaires, as long as I can study them before I photograph them. Billionaires like the Koch brothers, casino mogul Sheldon Adelson, and political puppet master Karl Rove should not be able to buy our elections. Secret money should not be able to drown out the voices of the American people and sell our democracy to the highest bidder. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have their giving pledge, where billionaires promise to give away the majority of their wealth when they die. My Social Security pledge is better, to give money to good causes when you are alive. Besides, more Americans can participate. At least once a year, I meet with a group called the Giving Pledge. It's a group of billionaires, including me, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Ted Turner, who have pledged to give away most of their money to charity. We meet for 3 days to talk about what we're doing to help make the planet a better place to live. We must rein in overspending by ridding government of outmoded programs, making big oil pay their fair share, repealing massive tax breaks for corporations that ship jobs overseas, and enacting a tax code that no longer favors millionaires and billionaires. If I could set a world record, it would be that I have 150 business partners, all with thriving businesses of their own that started with nothing, and I made the difference to make them all billionaires. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.